Want to kickstart with issues concerning the Continental Free Trade Agreement, and businesses in the Ashanti region are exploring ways to take advantage of the benefits of that agreement. The agreement is scheduled to come off this year. Founder of Corporate Vision Consult, Charles Appiah, says because the agreement will thrive on production, local businesses must channel their energies into production. This came up at a meeting that brought together businesses in the Ashanti region. Prince Appiah was there and now reports.
The business community in Ashanti region have begun engaging among themselves on how to explore ways to increase their production and leverage on the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement Secretariat being established in Ghana. At the third edition of the Ashanti Business Executive Cocktail event, founder of Corporate Vision Consult, Charles Appiah, explained the need for this move.
To find solutions to some of these things and see how best typical businesses in Kumasi will take a new turn and be productive and be relevant to the economy and economic growth so far as Ghana is concerned. When you brand what we do well, it attracts foreign investment. People want to put their money in it. So basically it's about people appreciating that to be internationally acceptable as a business person, one, you should learn how to market your product.
The annual event by Corporate Visions Consult is under the theme Rebranding Ashanti Region as the Hub of Industrial Transformation. Charles Appiah is positive it will set the tone for investment opportunities to be explored in the region.
So we want to adapt new best business practices. And when that is done, it embodies you as a business person. To know where your strengths are, where your weaknesses are, the opportunities are available, the threat that also your business exposes to your business. If you're able to do that, you know what measures you can take to mitigate and take advantage of the opportunity. So Ashanti region is the best place to do business as people are poised. We are getting there 2020 after. We're going to see more of our business from our Ashanti region taking the center stage.
Various stakeholders, including the Association of Ghana Industries, the Bono and Ashanti units, the Ghana Chamber of Commerce and Industries, and the National Association of Poultry Farmers in the region.
The succession planning shouldn't necessarily be with your children. Partner with them so that you can leave a legacy behind. Your children can succeed you, but they must have the interest first. If the person doesn't have that interest, the person can never ever be able to run the business you have run.
Ashanti, we still have all the resources and so many things in place. We just need to strategize very well, put ourselves together, help us, revive the spirit, the real Ashanti spirit. I mean, farming, our goat sector, our timber sector, our, so many things. I mean, mining, all these things we need to concentrate on. We need support, the supports that we need. And also we need to package ourselves very well. And so what they have to assess, for when it comes to assessing facilities, it becomes a big problem for them.
The engagement between the business leaders in the Ashanti region are expected to continue until an agreeable direction is met. Prince Appiah reporting.
Business is prepping for the implementation of the Continental Free Trade Agreement. Now, moving on to other news tonight, Managing Director of State-owned aluminum smelting company Aluworks, Kwesi Okon, is making a case for the Ghana International Trade Commission to put counter tariffs in place on cheap aluminum imports from China and other parts of the world, which find themselves on the Ghanaian market. According to him, most of the products are earmarked for transit into neighboring Burkina Faso and Togo, but eventually enter the local market at cheaper rates, competing unfairly with products from Aluworks. He was making a presentation to the International Trade Commission at this hearing in Accra. Joining me in studio with more on that is Ebenezer Sabute. So how serious, Eben, is this challenge that Aluworks is bringing to the fore?
Okay, so per the presentation that the managing director gave to the commission, it is such that if the products are coming into the country and they are supposed to be transit goods, it means that the customs division of the Ghana Revenue Authority will not charge certain amount. They have specific amount. But at the end of the day, they find themselves into the market. They find these products in the market, meaning that the rate at which they are supposed to sell it, the prices come down. So it makes consumers go in for those ones instead of going for the product from Aluex, which becomes the prices become a bit higher than some of these. Others also has to do with export rebate. So for instance, when a product is coming from China, there's an export rebate that is being put on that product. And therefore, when it comes to Ghana, it doesn't attract certain taxes and all that. So these products are expected to go elsewhere, but they were using Ghana's port as transit. But they find themselves in our market, and at the end of the day, the prices become cheaper, and then the product from Aluex the price becomes a bit higher, and consumers go in for this. So this has affected them so much that their staff strength have reduced significantly. I mean, when they were talking about the staff strength of about 3,000. Now they have less than 300 staff strength. Yes, so it is a worrying trend. And I engaged the managing director severally before this day. Let me put on record that today is the official hearing for the commission. They've been doing some hearings, but those ones are in camera, and then also side-by-side investigations per what petition that has been presented. But today's own is the official public hearing, which all the partners, all the business, those concerns have been brought on.
Right. So what really are they asking to be done? Because based on what we have heard right now, these things are not originally meant for the Ghanaian market, but for neighboring countries. Ghana is more like a transit. So what are they asking to be done?
So what they are asking to be done is countervailing measures. So if, for instance, like they are putting a measure, a 13% or 20% tax rebate from China. Here, when it comes to Ghana, we should be able to also put a tax of 13% on it. 30% from China means they are not going to pay 13% of whatever tax they are supposed to pay. But per the WTO rules, when they come here, we should put that tax on it. So they are asking the Ghana International Trade Commission to recommend this. The Trade Commission will recommend it, and then government to approve it. And then also they are asking the Ghana Revenue Authority to check that if these products are supposed to be for transit goods and they are supposed to be for either Burkina Faso or Togo, they must make sure that those goods are well monitored until they enter the Togo market, rather than being dumped at Kumasi or other markets in the country. And these are some of the challenges. So he's making a passionate appeal that if we don't take care, the company will collapse, and it's on the verge of collapse because this issue has hurt them so.
So quickly, what happens after this? I mean, they've had Aluex. What next?
Yes. So right there, the respondent also spoke, and let me put it on record that the respondents were represented by the former president of the Association of Ghana Industries, Dr. James Asare, who indicated that some of the allegations made by Aluex are untrue. But the commission also asked them to bring their presentation in a written format so that they could also do an investigation. So afterwards, the commission will give a judgment or a ruling on it, and the ruling could be that if it is true that what Aluex is saying is true, then they will recommend a countervailing measure or a tax rate on it. If not so, they will just say, okay, this is not true, and then we are letting the companies import or export whatever they are doing, and then business continues as usual.
All right, Evan Sabute, thanks for the update. We'll be watching that closely. Now, although Ghana is yet to record any disruptions to flight services during the Harmattan season, 2 British Airways flights bound for Lagos have had to divert to Accra for safe landing. According to the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority, the diversion was caused by poor visibility at the Lagos airport, making it difficult for some aircrafts to land. The Director General of Ghana Civil Aviation Authority, Simon Alote, says Ghana is open to receive more diversions to enhance flight safety within the sub-region.
With a low visibility during this Harmattan period, due to the dusty and foggy winds, it is anticipated that we could have some disruptions to smooth flight operations, resulting in some delays, diversions, or possible cancellations until the weather clears out. Well, luckily here at the Kotoka International Airport, we are yet to experience any of these, but our neighbors in Nigeria have not been so lucky. In the past 2 days, British Airways flights bound to Lagos had to divert to land here at Kotoka International Airport safely due to visibility challenges in Lagos. The Director for Air Traffic, Edward Barr, sheds more light on the diversions.
So far, we had 3 diversions, Cape Verde Airlines and 2 British Airways Airways aircraft so far. And they are all diverted from Lagos to Accra. The reason, fortunately, the visibility in Accra is slightly better than that of Lagos. So that's the reason why they diverted to Accra.
Meanwhile, Director General for the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority explained Ghana is open to receive diversions in order to support air safety on the continent.
We welcome diversions in the interest of safety, and there could be some revenue for us as well, because as the aircraft overflies airspace, as they land, they pay for overflight and landing charges. Okay, the aircraft may also decide to refuel when it's on the ground, so there are benefits. But for me, the primary issue is one of safety. You know, you don't want an aircraft to take the risk when in the view of the pilot or in line with the operational specifications of the airline. The visibility is so low that it should not take the risk to land.
So what may appear as a challenge to our neighbors in Nigeria may probably be nearing to our benefit, as we still stand to gain some revenues from the services provided to these aircrafts as they land here at Kotoka International Airport. However, for passengers going from Kotoka, well, we are still not out of the woods yet, as weather patterns could still change and affect flights. Reporting for Joy Business from the Kotoka International Airport, my name is Shileta Maklo.
President of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, Dr. Joseph Obeng, has cautioned against likely depreciation of the proposed common currency, the ECO, considering the size of the economy of some member countries. His call comes at a time when Ghana is getting ready to join other West African countries to use the ECO this year. Considering the current trade volumes among member states and issues bordering the closure of the Nigeria-Benin border, Dr. Obeng fears the use of a common currency in West Africa could lead to depreciation.
There should be a caution here. If we have to adopt a single currency, then of course we have to have an effective monitoring or supervisory system in place that will make sure that, because you know we have to respect the fiscal disciplines and all that among the nations and all that. If we look at a country like Nigeria, the total GDP of about 67% of the entire GDP of the sub-region. If we do not take care, it doesn't strike a good balance. It means that that country, if one particular country have a problem at a time, or they take unilateral decision or do something untoward, then it affects the bulk of the entire sub-regional currency and all that. But we'll be able to achieve if we have a very strong monitoring system. Yeah, if you look at how the ECOWAS protocol, the Commission and all that is behaving towards the ECOWAS protocol and all that, then you cannot have the actual confidence if that same attitude is transferred into the monitoring of this ECO or the single currency. So that's my only fear and my caution, that we should be able, before we adopt and all that, bring everybody on board, we should make sure that the supervisory system, whichever structure it is, should be firm up.
Meanwhile, the Association of Ghana Industries thinks there should be no obstacle in the way of implementing the ECO this year, as it would enhance businesses and international trading. The Greater Accra Regional Chairman of the AGI, Chonam Akpelo, shared his thoughts on the marketplace earlier.
We believe it's actually long overdue. Okay. Common currency regime has always presented some of the greatest opportunity to boost economic development and trade among and between nations that adopt the currencies. So for us in AGI, we thought that this common currency conversation is long overdue. It is high time we have it. Number one, common currency will essentially reduce the cost of administration of exchanging currencies.
Okay.
What it means is that it will become more easy and cheaper to transact business, say, from Accra and Lagos, because you have to use the same currency now in the new regime and so on. So we believe it's a great thing. We're happy when we heard that it will happen this year. We're only praying that it actually happens, because we know that most of the countries in the West African sub-region are yet to still meet the convergent criteria,
exactly.
essentially. So in such a liberalized economy like the West African countries, if we need to do ECO, we cannot necessarily agree to what the French bloc says. What it means is that all of us, all the member countries, must sit down to decide what is best for the entire sub-region. Obviously, I don't imagine a country like Ghana agreeing to peg the ECO to, let's say, the CFA franc or the euro. It will have to happen in a much more democratic and it should be backed by a more solid economic argument as opposed to a political decision.
So then which currency do you think that we should, line up the ECO initially?
I believe that we should have our own monetary and financial arrangement to support it, because you have to be very careful in doing these things. The economies are not same in West Africa. Some of the economies are bigger. There are several criteria that are considered for this thing to happen. It's not merely just pegging. Those are political decisions. But currency is essentially economic, because immediately you agree to adopt single currency, meaning you are actually relinquishing that monetary policy power to a centralized body like the West African Central Bank. What it makes is that your local country has lost the power entirely to use monetary policy to affect any economic activity.
Okay.
So, for example, if you have massive unemployment in Nigeria, and then for whichever reason the Nigerian financial managers realize that they need to use monetary policy, but immediately you have ECO, you can't do that, because you've given that power to the centralized monetary policy authority.
Which means there will definitely be a central bank.
Yes, of West Africa. Let's say Ghana Central Bank will be a member. So we would have lost our power. So things like solving economic problems like issues of unemployment, where you probably want to reduce money, increase money supply to make more loanable funds available for industry to be expanded and so on, so you can create more jobs, it will be taken away.
Away from the ECO, Country Director of Jumotha Technology Service Providers for MTN Quick Loan is urging subscribers of the service to duly redeem their indebtedness to continue to maintain a good credit rating. Speaking to Joy Business, the Country Director said the service has driven the financial inclusion agenda of government by making loans readily available to many people who initially had no bank accounts.
It's always like customer education at the initial stage of, any frontline innovation. And we had teething problems, and that's to be expected. We're learning as we go along. We think that, the market for digital credit, the market for using new channels of distributing financial services in real way is going to become more interesting. It's going to mature. And we just want to still have the opportunity to be able to offer people, those services. In Ghana, for instance, all the products are, are regulated by the central bank, and we're lending at the instruction of the financial service providers who have every interest in, the prudential records of all the loans. So the portfolios are reviewed. We receive a STECO mandate, and then the portfolios are reviewed daily. Reporting is done daily. We're able to assess the health of the portfolio at all stages. We have, I would say, the necessary controls in place to make sure that this product and then products of this nature go verify and reach people in a very positive and strong way.
Should I take an MTN Quick Loan for 500 Ghana cedis and then remove my SIM card and throw it away? What will become of your service or operation?
It's quite interesting. Now you're asking me for my credit scoring profile. There is a lot more we do that hopefully will not give somebody like that a loan. That's fundamentally the main thing. And then should that happen, we will still have other recourse as well. But then I think the key thing is we take the scoring very, very seriously. Otherwise, I don't think any bank would want to offer credit on a mobile, or will want to offer credit through these channels.
Well, finally tonight, founder and president of Frames Analytics, Eugene Frimpong, has challenged companies to take advantage of big data to help enhance their speed and efficiency. Technology has created an overwhelming amount of information, with the total amount of data generated expected to hit 44 zettabytes by the close of 2020. This massive amount of data has proven to be valuable for large enterprises. For the first time, enterprises are able to integrate different data into meaningful sources for artificial intelligence purposes. Let's get more on this from Eugene Frimpong, who spoke to Joy Business.
Data is the digital oil of the 21st century. It's a source of competitive advantage. It improves efficiency. It kind of helps you, like the media, for instance. So many people listen to Joy FM, but there's probably a certain segment of the population who are more ardent listeners than the others. Thanks to the power of big data, you are able to segment your customer base, and you are able to see the long-term value of each customer. Okay. So let's say, for instance, an advertising company, you want to sell your product. Instead of sending out mass emails or sending out mass text messages, you are able to selectively segment your customer base. Okay. And then the ones that you think are going to be most loyal to you, you're able to target them. Okay. Then again, insurance, for instance, we know that for any individual, there is about 4,200 data points around every individual. Okay. So you'll be able to know exactly the behavior of the person based on their posts on social media, where they are shopping. If they go to Amazon to shop, what are they looking at? If they go on Netflix, what movies do they want to watch? All this information is out there. Let me bring it back again to Ghana, for instance. A 2017 report indicates that there is about 10.1 million internet users in Ghana. Yes. That's about 35% of the population. Yeah. Out of this, majority of them are using their cell phone device. They are not going on the computer to do it. So if you're a marketer out there and you want to reach such a person, what is the best way to do it? Probably instead of maybe hanging very big banners and using spending money on billboards, you could probably using you can target mobile phone device as a means of what do you call it, advertising. And also, it's important to know of the 4.6 million Facebook users in Ghana, about 35% of them are on the social media. They are on Facebook every day.
And that's Business Live tonight. There's more news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. My name is Darryl Kwao. Thanks for watching.